So tell me about your business, Larry Easto.
Well, it's I'm on kind of a legacy stage right now. I'm trying to pull together some of the lessons I've learned along the way. I'm not in growth mode. I'm in kind of contracting pre-retirement, whatever that means.
Okay.
And so what I've done is start over the past year, a couple of years, I've started pulling together a couple of projects. One is a book and one is a video course. And what I want to do is share some of the lessons I've learned from running different kinds of businesses. They've all been professional service businesses. I started work as a lawyer, and then I got tired of being a lawyer, and then I did some consulting, and then I became a writer, and then I did some coaching and some training. My true passion is writing. I just absolutely love writing, and a secondary passion is helping others learn. So writing the book was a labor of love, and the book it's called How to Succeed in Your Professional Service Business. And what I've done there is combine mindsets and marketing. So it just kind of fits into my sweet spot. How it allows me to talk about goals and purposes and passion and all those kinds of things at the same time as addressing some strategies for succeeding in a small business. So it's kind of like my life, I guess. It's not a clear, straight direction, but it's a nice combination of things that works well.
Yes, yes. Oh, that sounds good. So the book, is it already out?
Oh yeah, it's out. It's in. My distributor tells me it's available in 40,000 bookstores around the world. I haven't checked, but that's what he tells me. But it is online. It's online sources, and
Okay.
it's hard copy on print on demand, which is an amazing process. So
Wow.
if somebody wants one book, they will print one book for you.
Oh,
And
wow.
for me, I don't have to pay to print 10,000 copies of books to sit in warehouses. So that's great. So yeah, it's available online in three formats: hard copy, hardcover, and electronic. And Amazon, Apple Books, all those folks, they've got it.
And thank you so much because that definitely does help for myself to find it as well as those that will be watching or that are watching this. So when it came to the book, and now that you're going into, as you stated, your legacy mode, what's your vision thereafter?
Well, the vision for me would be to when I finish to say, yeah, my life was worthwhile. I learned a lot of really cool stuff from experience, and even better, I had the chance to share it with other people.
Yeah.
I love getting, who doesn't like feedback, but I like people telling me that something I said made a difference in their life. Not to stroke my ego, but to feel as if I have a purpose. I'm living purposeful. So my vision would be to sit back with maybe a glass of wine and say, yeah, I've had a really meaningful and purposeful life. I've really helped a lot of people. So that's going to feel good.
That's so sweet to hear because it's a sweet spot of knowing that you've done a service, right? And that you'll be able to look back and see the service that you provided and the knowledge and the pretty much the gifts and blessings that you provided for all those you've helped in the past and currently because the book will live on definitely.
Exactly. And I think probably over the past, I don't know, maybe over the past 10 years, I've realized that that's probably my purpose here on earth is to learn things and interpret them for others so they can learn from them. So that to me is really exciting and gratifying. And it doesn't stop. It's not a once and done thing. It's just ongoing, just absolutely ongoing. And that's exciting too.
Absolutely. You speak about the experiences that you had. Please share with me one of the most memorable experiences that you've had in starting all of your businesses and leading up to where you are now.
Um, Probably, yeah, early in my consulting phase, I had, as I say, different phases. Early in the consulting phase, I was contacted by a lawyer, and he had at the time had a small practice in a small town, really, really, really busy, and he wanted to grow, but he didn't have the planning skills and didn't know what he wanted to do. So I worked with him, and what we did was helped him grow, first of all, from one lawyer and one secretary to three lawyers and four staff. And then about 5 years later, he made it to 6 lawyers and I think 8 support staff. So it wasn't a case of my doing that. It was a case of asking him questions that he hadn't thought of.
Yeah.
So I asked the questions that he hadn't thought of because it was outside of his area of expertise or knowledge or whatever. So I was more of a facilitator than a builder, than a director. I wasn't director of operations. I was more of the guys asking questions, saying, "Hey, have you tried this? Or what about that? Have you thought about the other thing?" And that was really gratifying, and it was amazing. I saw him, gosh, I guess I saw him 5 or 6 years ago at a concert,
Yeah.
and he'd retired, and he was really happy, and he just rushed up to me and said, "I'm so happy what you did for me." And this had been like 20 years ago, and
Yes.
he was so happy, and he said it made my life as a lawyer so much more fulfilling. Like, wow, that's great. Coming from a lawyer, that was great. So that was
Absolutely.
good. And other people along the way. There's a guy who was a clerk in a big company, and after my first book, he got a hold of my first book, and he decided he was going to be a financial planner. So he became a financial planner and wound up teaching financial planning at a college. And again, he thanks me for that. So those are the kinds of things I feel really good about. Not stroking my ego, but saying, yeah, that person's happy because of something I did. Wow, that's good. That's good. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely. So because you were a lawyer, did you find yourself helping more lawyers or it's just
No, no. Trying to work with lawyers, trying to do planning with lawyers is probably like trying to herd cats. It's just not worth the effort. Just not worth the effort. And lawyers, yeah, I'm going to get in trouble for this, I'm sure, but many lawyers tend to be know-it-alls.
yeah,
And so I would offer a suggestion, and immediately they would be finding problems. I would offer a solution, and they'd be finding problems.
yeah,
So I got to the point when I was working with them, I'd say, I'm going to offer some solutions, but I don't want you to pick it apart. I don't want you to start attacking it.
yeah,
Try it. Think about it before you attack it. So no, I love how smart many lawyers are.
yeah.
I respect them. But I couldn't work with them on a constant basis.
I love that. I love that. Uh, what are the biggest challenges you faced in building your vision?
Um, that's a toughie because I tend to be a bit of a maverick, and I tend to try to do things myself.
Yeah,
And I think the biggest challenges was learning to let go, learning to let go of what I couldn't do, stay in my own lane, let someone who is better at it than I am do it. And it took a long time to be comfortable letting go of things.
yeah,
So that was the biggest thing. It was I've never had a problem with writer's block, or I've never had a problem with ideas. I mean, the problem is I have too many of them,
yeah,
and I try to do too much. I'm blessed with a variety of skills, so I try to do too much,
yeah,
and I'm finally learning to say, well, you don't have to do that. Somebody else can do that. Have somebody hire somebody, a freelancer, to do that. You don't have to do that. So that's the biggest challenge. It's just, disciplining myself to focus on what I do best and delegate the rest.
yes. And it's so funny because you mentioned earlier that lawyers were sort of like know-it-alls, and then you had a problem with letting go, and you were once a lawyer. So
Bingo, bingo. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's the curse of being multi-talented or multi-gifted. I mean, if I can do it, why don't I do it now rather than wait for somebody? And
yes,
and it's a discipline thing, a discipline thing.
that's so awesome. That's so awesome, and really, it made me laugh because it's funny to hear when you decided or actually acknowledged that that was the challenge of letting go. Did you create a team, or did you mostly utilize freelancers or
Mostly
consult?
freelancers. I didn't want to get into administration. I didn't want big organizations. I mean, I could do it. I've worked for. I have had positions of responsibility that I had other folks working for me, but I just wanted to keep it simple. And I, so I did. I've used freelancers. I've As a lawyer, I tried partnerships a couple of times, and it just didn't work out. So it's easier to be a freelancer, and everybody knows what the rules are, and knows what the outcome is, and all those kinds of things. And there's very little opportunity or need for dispute and power struggles and those kinds of things.
Yeah, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. In everything that you've done and where you see yourself at now, I know things change, but what is your why? What's your why? What is the legacy here for? And
Um, I think the why would be to learn, continue to learn new things and share them with others.
yeah.
I love learning, and I also love helping others learn. I did a course in adult education a few years ago, and that was a game changer. That just totally changed how I saw my own work and how I served clients and all those kinds of things. Every element, like all the different career phases, the common element was probably helping others learn.
Mhm.
As a lawyer, I didn't tell them what to do. I helped them learn what their options were and what the consequences of their options were. And as a consultant, same thing. This is the situation. These are your options. If you do this, this is likely to happen. So that to me is learning. It's facilitating rather than being project director. And so my why, I think, is facilitating. Kind of I make the mistakes and I spend the money and I get the headaches and I pull away the lessons and pass them on to somebody else.
Sounds like a good idea. In you and what you do in helping professionals find their way through, I see that on the website you focus on simplifying marketing for them. Um, in the dynamics of Larry Easto and the field that you're in, what is it that you find most that you help them with?
Marketing. Absolutely, marketing. We're in an age when everybody is an expert on just about everything, and there's so many experts on marketing telling all of us, but telling professionals, if you do it my way, you're going to be successful. Well, that sounds kind of good,
Yeah,
but we have different skills, we have different resources, we have different ideas. So what I try to do is help them, and the buzzword is, the catch line is, attract new clients as easily as you make friends, because that's what it's all about. So it's more a case of, okay, yeah, pay attention to online marketing and pay attention to networking and be aware of all those things. But when it comes down to it, do what is best for you. Do what best leverages your own personal strengths. Um, I tend to be an introvert, so I try to avoid group scenes where I have to go and see a lot of people.
yeah,
Flip side is I love writing, so content marketing is perfect for me. And active in-person networking scares the bejeebers out of me. So it's a case of finding what's right. Now the interesting thing is, when I was actively networking, I was fairly good at it. And people would say, "Wow, you're really good at it." And I say, "But I hate it." Well, how can you be so good at something you hate? Well, you do what you got to do, right? And so that's what it was about. So it's a case of finding what really works for you and your clients,
yeah,
and just don't chase clients, attract friends, and it's so much easier that way. So
yeah.
much easier that way.
I love that, Larry. Don't chase clients, attract friends. And that's the biggest thing. One of the things that I hear consistently and speaking with guests and leaders such as yourself is that communication and relationships are so much more important to keeping the business afloat and making sure that you're authentic and genuine. And what you said definitely hit the mark of what most leaders say is that it's important to make sure that you are about the people, your business
Oh,
is making
exactly.
friends.
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
and
Well,
so when they're in so my head is going here and I have all these thoughts, so I'm trying to organize them. You deal with professionals, and these professionals sometimes have it all down packed and they come to you for marketing. What's the challenge? What's that push that you have to give them in order to actually go into action and do what you're advising?
you really can do it. You really can do it. It's not that it's not. You don't need an MBA from a business school to market services. All you really need is to have a good handle on who you are,
Yeah,
who your clients are, who your ideal clients are, and how you help them. That's it in a nutshell. So that includes branding, that includes communications, that includes, that drives all of the online marketing. So you want your brand to be consistent. Your brand is all about what distinguishes me from everybody else, and why does that help clients? So it's a case of, I can really do it. And unfortunately, many of us get so involved in the professional service part of our business that we can't see how we can apply those skills in other aspects of the business.
Yeah.
And so all I'm trying to do is to say, hey, again, hey, have you tried this? And think of marketing as attracting friends. You're not prospecting. You're not looking for a gold. You're looking for a friend. And you're not looking for a friend. You want to attract people that will be as good for you as they are for you. You are as good for them as they are for you. It's a mutual benefit there. So it's I think a lot of it is just demystifying the theory, demystifying the rigid thinking, demystifying the checklist, and say, just do it like do it like you make friends.
Absolutely. And so, what tips do you have for entrepreneurs, leaders, or business owners?
I think it starts with having a really good understanding of who you are and what you're all about. And this includes body, mind, and spirit. We all have intuitive senses that sometimes we ignore, sometimes we don't. They could be valuable resources. And spirituality is a connection with something higher. When things are going tough, connect with it. Connect with nature, or just calm down. Let the spiritual side of you play a role in the whole thing. So often people get locked up into a specific role. The lawyers have to act this way, or doctors have to act this way, or whatever. It's no, it's interpersonal relationships. It keeps coming back to getting along. And the best way to get along with people is to know who you are, and be authentic all of the time, rather than just when it suits you.
Thank you for being here today. I'm really happy that you tuned in to Vision Pros Live. I'm looking forward to seeing your reactions as these episodes continue to move forward. This is going to get more and more fun. We'll have more and more engagement as well. We'll invite people to participate in the show. And thank you for giving us your time and attention. Have an excellent time building out your vision and becoming a Vision Pro yourself.